But yeah, we're gonna be able to see a bit of a, man, I miss, Shifu being the first man. I miss Urshifu. Coming from BKZ, Blue Book Hats, Urshifu is really strong. Perhaps one of the strongest in the region as well. But with that being said, though, Urshifu, Mimikyu being the first bands here, along with Darkheart and Zacian.
Oh,
interesting. That means we have the Leafeon up and the Umbreon, along with the Psyduck. There we go. Ikura. Okay, now this is interesting. Ikura is definitely going to be the one controlling the Psyduck. We're not gonna be able to see the Slowbro, unfortunately. But I do like to see Ikura's Slowbro. I think Ikura hasn't played Days 1 and Day number 2, but this time though they are definitely going to be the one playing. With that being said, so now. Miraidon and Umbreon, really good pick as well from the back lane, but we do know for a fact that it got nerfed quite recently. So let's find out how it's going to be able to catch up in terms of team fights. But definitely its Unite move is still a very strong move. Bright Future Meteor Storm.
Yeah, for sure. And the amount of value that it could give in the back lane later on into the game would be still quite efficient, despite of a little bit of a nerf that happened for this patch. Because there's actually a meme look later on if EVOS would make utilize of it, because that's really the main playbook here. But what I'm quite curious here for Alter Ego is they have two supporters instead of a defender on their pocket. This is actually interesting. They don't have the tankiness yet on their lineup so far, because Leafeon, yes, has the damage, but no, the tankiness or the sustain they have. So it will be compensated, yes, with a soft boil with the healings from ice, but in terms of total, this is actually very high risk, high reward. We have been talking about it a while ago, back and forth, high risk, high reward, and it's just Shindy who has the upper hand in terms of sustain.
Sorry, I'm thinking. This is the first time that we have seen Serena in quite a while. Zero Aura, also the first time we're gonna be seeing quite a while. One of the buff Pokemon, quite recently in the recent patch, we had a buff, right? We have a patch last week. So again, that's one of the biggest, I'd say, biggest thing, right, in this tournament, because of how huge of a gap the next, the days of the tournaments are. There's definitely going to be some patches in between, but like Serene, again, one of the Pokemon that we haven't seen quite a while. Definitely going to be a top Pokemon with its, attack weight as well. And then of course we have the Zero Aura, which is definitely going to be a, I'd like to say Volt Switch Discharge.
Oh yeah.
But could definitely be a Spark Wild Charge kind of composition, just to be able to support that Garchomp when it gets its hit, and at the same time Trevenant when it uses its Wood Hammer. But then again, it's still quite possible to use Volt Switch Discharge. But with that being said, though, Squishiness Alter Ego definitely does have huge attacking prowess, but I'm not quite sure. EVOS definitely has the advantage in terms of the composition here. So being that of a tankier and more attacking prowess, especially with that of Miraidon at the back and Trevenant at the front, and Garchomp, obviously we know for a fact that it can attack you and heal its HP.
Yeah, for sure. And we have been talking about it a while ago, the Zero Aura, about the moveset that it could actually do later on. But going back into the composition of Alter Ego, they are squishy, and definitely Discharge would provide a lot of impact in terms of team fight if they could just gather everyone else with a Wood Hammer. So that's actually the main game plan that EVOS Onyx could actually do into this game, because it's just no one else. No one would tank every single damage from Alter Ego. It's just the amount of healings that they could get from the soft boil, and everything will boil down. And not just that, not just the Zero Aura, they have a powerful backlane later on, which is the Miraidon, that could actually go for the Charge Beam.
Yeah, for sure. Charge Beam into perhaps Thunder as well, that goes along with it, just to be able to support their teammates, right? Trevenant and Garchomp from the back lanes. With that being said, though, Kane here, just waiting for the time to get and steal away this. what we call this, the Axel Gore. There you go. And was able to successfully do so. But then again, being a Leafeon only uses level 4, still at level 5, gonna be able to push out some damage. Now, there you go. Raging Leaf is gonna be popped up as well. But not quite enough though. But at least they're gonna be able to take down that Gible.
Yeah, for sure. And still a knockout coming in from their team, but Astro Ego managed to score at the other side of the map. That's actually a good response coming in from their team, and surprisingly, it was supposed to be EVOS Onyx going to apply the pressure against Alter Ego because of the advantage in terms of picking. But this is the good thing for Alter Ego, knowing that they have a big prowess in terms of attacking, just like what we said a while ago, and they just have to maximize it all up. They need to put up a gap as much as they can.
And that's what we're talking about. Leafeon gonna be able to take down the Phantom. It's still not a Trevenant, unfortunately, which will definitely allow them to. Oh wow, actually not a foul play Pokemon here, but instead goes in for what we call a mean look, which we haven't seen in quite a while. But look at that, so gets a stomp as well. Gonna be able to take down the Umbreon for Alter Ego. That's another KO for them, and definitely another one in for the books. Now, what's interesting here is that, EVOS Onyx still has a lot to catch up against that of Alter Ego if they do want to win here, especially that their main source of damage here, and of course the defender that is a Trevenant, still not a Trevenant, well, it's not a Trevenant, but Goodbye still at level 6, so definitely going to have a bit of a hard time here against that of Alter Ego. Another stomp here coming in from that of Shengdi, and another one as well, but not going to be enough to take them out, unfortunately. Going to be able to seal the Cirrus Berry though, and be able to get away with that of the drop kick.
But yeah, but additional off-camera knockout from the Leafeon from Alter Ego side, so potentially they could actually secure this objective. So this side off from Alter Ego just has to stall away some time for them to reach out into the Regieleki, but that's not going to be quite enough. But in compensation or in return, that's actually a Regirock that will increase their defense for a while, and a defense potential coming in from their team.
He gets a surf here though. Ikura just putting up some surfs, and the disable. Are they gonna be able to take it out? Yes, sirree! That is going to be the Zeraora, and ALR gonna be the only one left here. And yes, not gonna be able to survive even with the wish coming in from that of the the Umbreon coming in from Dragon Gods. But here we go. Gonna be isolated once again. Dropkick gonna be popped up into the stomp, allowing them to take down Dragon Gods and put in some scores as well, destroying the first score goal up top. Beautiful play coming in from Alter Ego. Again, both of them, along with Baron Sajong, has woken up, right? In comparison to days 1 and day number 2, this is the Alter Ego that we know of. This is the aggression that we know of Alter Ego. But EVOS is still not to be dismissed. They are still a strong contender here, and they would do their best to get in. And that's what we're talking about. Charge Move is going to be popped up.
Oh, that's a powerful back lane coming in from EVOS Onyx, and Alter Ego does know that they are in a bit of a trouble out there, so you have to back away a little bit, especially that there's no objective that they're trying to contest here. But the Emerald 2-step, it's gonna be landing. But look at this stage coming in from ALR. Look at that stomp connecting from Shengdi as he goes for the knockout. But there's no enough score value that they got, but the knockout was quite efficient.
Gets a Thunder and the Charge Beam into Ice, but still not gonna be enough to take down the very big egg-loving Blissey with the lucky egg in the middle of his pouch. But that being said, though, they are now slowly but surely going down bottom to secure, get a position into that Regi bottom. But still, also going to be able to try to, push away EVOS Onyx down bottom. That being said, though, the Regi bottom and the Regieleki is now up. Regirock is going to be appearing.
Another source of defense here for Alter Ego, and for sure they would really want to get it, but EVOS Onyx trying their best to contest it with the Charge Beam, but not going to be quite enough. But in return, they got the Regieleki all the way to the top path.
Plasma Gale is going to be popped up, going to be able to take down that Leafeon as well. But with that being said, Bright Future Feature Storm is going to be popped up as well, going to be able to take down no one at all, but no low HP as well. Thunder is going to be popped up just to try to stop them and buy some time to get in some scores, but unfortunately not going to be able to be enough. And look at that drop kick into the stomp, into the Queenly Majesty. Queen's Ascendance. Queenly Majesty is the passive ability Quinn's Ascendant is going to be popped up as well, just to be able to take down that Miraidon. And now that's going to be another one here. Mean looks to be popped up as well into that of Shengdi, but still not going to be enough. Put in some damage, and look at that. Sayayai is going to be popped up again. Leave it outrage, put in some damage. Blitz assistance into Shengdi, but it's going to allow them to survive. And look at that, Dragon Gun's going to be taken out as well. And only one is left here. Kane! Oh no! There's only the disable, only hits you twice, but it doesn't matter. Ikura spits down a water into that of Kane. Gonna be able to take down one Pokemon again, and that is it. Gonna be able to see him wipe them all. EVOS Onyx is on a huge deficit in terms of XP.
Yeah,
Again,
and
well, not XP actually, but a team, a team fight rather, a teamwork against that of Alter Ego.
Yeah, for sure. And Alter Ego really did a huge job a while ago, making sure that the Sayayai, the full power Sayayai, would connect in their favor. And the Bliss Assistance really followed up all the way from Shingyi in order to support Shingyi as fast as they can and as efficient as they can in order for them to get multiple objectives. They got a lot of knockouts, they got a lot of resources from EVOS Onyx. Definitely a good factor for them to overtake the XP lead.
Oh yeah. But with that being said, though, we're gonna be able to see the last set of major objectives here before the Rayquaza eyes here. Gonna be able to be taken seen by Kane here, and just pushing them away, and they're still fighting off to the whoever gets in this Reggie Ilecki. But with that being said, still just poking each other out.
Sure, they have to poke each other. Health has to back away a little bit here, but look at that. Look at the range coming in from the side strike. That's actually good, but off the camera, actually a huge knockout coming in from Alter Ego, because they can actually dominate this into the later stages.
Emerald Susan is going to be popped up as well. There you have it. Meteor Stone is going to be popped up again, but it's not going to be enough to take down anyone inside of Alter Ego. And another one here. Unite is going to pop up. Moonlight Paris is going to be popped up as well, but it's not going to be enough. Not going to be able to take down a lot here. Shingdi, though, isolated, but Ikura comes in as a help with a Surf. And, of course, the Disable is going to be popped up as well, allowing them to be able to get away. But look at that, though. Leafeon gets taken out, but it doesn't matter as Sakura is going to be able to secure it for them, for their team, put in some scores, put in 29. No, that is 58. And Ikura just, getting in some scores here so that they can get a 50 and put it into a hundo to destroy the secondary score goal. And there you have it. They are now currently in the lead, and they still have to put in more. A hundo coming from Shengdi as well. Shengdi 1v3, not going to be enough. Plasma Gale with a charge beam as well. Definitely a very strong electric type move for them. And look at this though. Z-Ray tries to get away, but Ice is now behind them just to support.
Yeah, for sure. That's what you want to do. After scoring a couple of goals after the Rayquaza, you just have to go back and go for the defense. And that was actually the game plan of Alter Ego. And might to tell you, I love how they move all the way from the Rayquaza into the final stretch, because they know what to do. They just need someone to dish out the damage while the others are just gonna zone out everyone else.
Yeah, sirree. But look at this though. Livid Outrage just to, struggle just a little bit. Still not gonna be enough though. There's gonna be 3 down into the side of EVOS Onyx. And that is also a Resort being taken down with Queen Ascendant coming in from that of Shengdi. There's gonna be 4 down, and nobody's gonna be up left here to try to defend the score goal. Well, with the exception of FG Jinky. But it's not gonna be enough. Not gonna be enough for them to, defend the score goal, or at least not, get any more points. That's 508 to 298 or something. That means, Alter Ego is definitely going to be taking in game number 1 against EVOS Onyx.
Yeah, I mean, that's actually huge coming in from the team, to be specific, because despite having the constraints a while ago in terms of Pokemon picks, they managed to make it work. That was actually a high risk and a high reward that they got from game number 1. Knowing that everyone from them, except for Shingdi, is actually squishy, they managed to just make use of their damage prowess and eventually it up on their hands. So there's a lot of options still that you could replace for Psyduck as well. You could have a Blissey or an Eldegoss, or if you just want to deny the movement speed, I think you just have to go with other defenders like a Blastoise that could actually surf away everyone else.
No, yeah, and again, okay, there we go. See, that's what I'm talking about. They're gonna be banning the Psyduck. That's what I talk about. They're not gonna be banning the Serena. But instead, actually, no, it was Alter Ego actually that banned the Psyduck.
Yeah.
They definitely don't want it to be up to anyone. But with that being said, Umbreon and what do you call this? The Slowbro is open for Ikura to take. Maybe even the Bliss. There we go. The Bliss is being covered up as well. Z-Ray. Yeah, the second attacker here for the team. Zero coming in with that of the Darkrai, definitely a huge pick as well, because we all know for a fact that Darkrai is, if not one of the strongest Pokemon in the game as of the moment. Which when we were watching LAIC, or at least when I was watching LAIC, it's always being picked. I believe there was no game that Darkrai wasn't picked, but I guess that doesn't happen in in our region where people still want to go in to choose. There's a lot of option. This is what I'm trying to say. There's still a lot more option in comparison to that of the the Darkrai. But definitely into the hands of Z-Ray, this is going to be a very, very huge Pokemon into their side.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I'm actually quite curious on how EVOS Onyx would make use of the Snorlax, because I don't feel like this was picked before. Actually, I'm not quite sure how many times, but we have been seeing the Heavy Slam and the Yawn composition. Simply because you have to put someone onto sleep and Heavy Slam for the setup for your team, because you don't want to use the block in order for you to push back your opponents, because that would really cost a lot of mobility coming in from you. So Yawn, pretty much efficient, but what I love here the most from EVOS Onyx is they're making use of a Dodrio once again. Faster facing in terms of scoring goals, and it's just a well-rounded speedster, actually.
We might be able to see. We might be able to see block though coming in from F Jinkies, just because of the fact that it is Snorlax is running X speed, and we all know for a fact that the mobility, that the issue of mobility is alleviated by that of the X speed. That's what we're talking about. Right? Just push opponents away, heavy slam into block into X speed, just so that they can get in their mobility. But what's interesting about to me here is that Alter Ego goes in for the Absol. With this kind of composition, definitely they want a prowess, right? They want a attacking power from the early game. They want to overwhelm them with their attacks from the early game going into the late game, because definitely Absol is one of those Pokemon that cannot survive late game. But at the same time, we have to consider as well that there is the Dodrio into the side of EVOS Onyx, which definitely could be quite annoying for the side of Alter Ego, because they, unless Umbreon goes in for Mean Look instead of Foul Play, but even then they still have to catch up with that of the Dodrio.
Oh yeah, for sure. And not just that, you pointed out the annoyance, or it could be a hindrance for Alter Ego because of the Dodrio that EVOS has. And might to tell you, if they just have to prioritize the target, which is the Dodrio, there's still actually a Bliss assistance coming in from the Blissey. So that's actually a good factor for you to babysit that Dodrio later on into the game. But it's not just that. They also have a Mimikyu that could actually isolate either the Darkrai or the Absol, because Darkrai also has the capabilities to isolate with the worst Nightmare. So it's more of a -1 in terms of team battles, and definitely you have to make the first move in order for you to get the upper hand. And it's just a matter of fact that timing to be specific.
Now, Alter Ego still most of which like the same kind of game plan here for them. Absol would definitely need to be funneled here, just because of the fact that, as I mentioned earlier, it might not have a huge play later down in the late game. But then again, there's the Mimikyu and the Sylveon, which the Absol can easily get into behind and put in some damage. So Finky's here. Let's see what's going to be the name of the game here.
And it's really hard to tell on who's going to be having the upper hand here, especially that's a huge amount of damage from 94. It's going to hurt a lot the side of the EVOS Onyx. But going back to what I was pointing out about it, it's really hard to tell who's going to be emerging or having the upper hand here, because both teams have an equal footing in terms of their draft.
I mean, again, this is what we're talking about. Absol really strong in the early game. But the question, oh wow, that's gonna be the third one in the match. But the question is, would they be able to retain them right up until the late game? Because that is going to be when the Absol is you know, going to have a bit of a problem. But with this kind of composition, I think it can go up against out of the Mimikyu and the Sylveon. With that being said, though, 94 still having a lot of time here to get in its XP. Now, currently at level 8 as well. Definitely a huge advantage against that of EVOS Onyx and could definitely take down anyone they want to in this match. And as I've said, there you go. Play Rob's not going to be enough here. Absol 94 going to be able to take down another KO in their books. With that being said, though, Dragon Gods, Drago Gods, are they able to get away? Are they going to be able to get away? There you go.
Not quite.
Not quite indeed. Metal Claw just to get in, and there's going to be another KO here. 2 KOs coming in from that of the Absol. The Alter Ego looking like they have the complete control of the game. At least the early. No, wow! Look at that heavy slam. Man, a heavy slam into what was that? Night Slash? Man.
Oh, that's actually huge. And just imagine, this Absol 94 is already a level 10 compared to level 7, which is the maximum level of EVOS Onyx. That's gonna play a huge role at the side of Alter Ego because right now, from this point in time, they could actually dominate and make this one-sided up until into the final stretch. So that's actually a huge factor for them. Right now, every single members of Onyx is just falling down at the hands of Alter Ego.
And that's what we're talking about, right? Like, if they want to make use of Absol, they need to funnel that Absol, right? Immediately, and that's what they did. And look at what's happening. Already at level 11, already able to take down anyone he wants to take out. Eyes here, heavy slam. And the block, of course, into that of the XP. That's what I'm talking about, right? Just to be able to get in that the mobility out of the way. But here you go. 94 has a Psycho Cut as well, being ready to put in some marks. So Drio is going to be taken out as well. Play with him is going to be popped up as well. But look at that, though. It's still not going to be enough. Unfortunately, 2 down into the side of EVOS Onyx. No, they are not done yet. Here comes the Hyperspace Hole back with a huge HP. They're going to be able to take down 3. That's 2 for 94. Finky, you are going back to the Pokemon Center, and just like that, Regieleki is now down into the secondary score goal into the play rough, going to be able to take down 94 finally this time around. But with that being said, they have lost a lot, and Alter Ego was able to take down a lot into the side of EVOS Onyx and put down several scores.
But still, that's actually a huge impact for MLR. Being able to catch up in terms of XP is actually enough for them to go head-to-head once again against Alter Ego. But right now, Shinty is a little bit of a trouble here. And slowly but surely, EVOS Onyx bouncing back with the XP lead, or actually making the XP go head-to-head against Alter Ego by taking some knockouts and potentially, you know, just go for the teamwork, just go for the 3v1s, get the advantage in terms of numbers.
And you know, I like the fact that you know, Alter Ego here, despite not going in for despite not going in for a an overcap, right? Just went in, immediately destroy the secondary score goal, so that when they take in the Regieleki later, then they would have far more pressure up top against that of EVOS Onyx. But speaking of EVOS Onyx, though, Pinky is the only one left here trying to take away this Regiseal, but unfortunately outnumbered, not going to be enough. Midnight Slash is going to be popped up as well. Going to be able to take down Pinky with that of the Snorlax, with the Parent up, still not going to be enough to survive, unfortunately. And now Hoopa up top with that of the rings, sorry, not rings above, but rather Hyperspace Hole, allowing them to go up, but unfortunately not going to be able to take on the elevator and just wants to take a stroll, you know, get a bit of a diet here, get a bit of an exercise going up top.
Oh yeah, speaking of exercise, that's going to be the difficult time coming in from Resort. He's trying to back away a little bit with Mystical Fire, but not going to be quite enough here. But look at that. Look at that defense, or actually offense, making it to a defense Alter Ego is providing by applying the pressure from the Regieleki. But my goodness, 94 having the time of his life so far.
Again, one of the reasons it's working so much is because of the squishiness of the Pokemon into the side of EVOS Onyx. Sure, you might have the Snorlax and you might have the Blissey, but it's still not going to be enough to allow you to sustain your Pokemon. Now 94 at level 13 at 3.5 minute mark. Dude, that is a huge number here for Alter Ego.
Yeah, and no one actually from EVOS Onyx is actually catching up into the XP or into the level of 94, and that alone would really provide a lot. But look at that play would need to isolate 94. But look at this defense. Midnight Slash is gonna be popped off in order for him to stay up. But sad to say, two members were actually taken down at the hands of Alter Ego after that team fight.
I mean, I guess it's also fine that they made sure that 94 lives, just because of the fact that, again, we have to remember that the game does have some sort of rubber banding, and that if the Shona thingies, Jinkies rather, takes down 94, then that level 10 would immediately jump to like level 12, level 13. So definitely something that they want to avoid from happening going into the Rayquaza fight. But with that being said, though, the Dre is going to be taken out here. Zire, Dark Boy is going to be used up as well. Fortunately, nobody's going to sleeping just quite yet. But at least, you know, they still have some time to take down Regieleki and put him some pressure up top against that of EVOS Onyx. So let's find out, though, if EVOS Onyx is going to be able to make use of this, or will Alter Ego be pressuring up EVOS Onyx before that Rayquaza.
Going to be
Where's the burst? Oh, not enough. Play with me into 94. Bliss assistance as well. Gonna be able to take down 94. They know their objectives.
Oh my goodness, and right now EVOS Onyx is slowly marching down all the way into the Rayquaza's pit, and they know what they have to prioritize. Look at that block, I love it, in order to zone out the members of Alter Ego, and the last hit would land at the hands of EVOS.
Unfortunate for Alter Ego, EVOS Onyx was able to secure the Rayquaza, but look at their shields, look at their buffs, it's almost depleted, only 100 points, still not going to be enough for them to take out the scores into Alter Ego. Okay, never mind, it is now enough for 125 to 290, but there's still a minute, there's still a minute left here for Alter Ego to catch up.
They just have to run down the shields from EVOS Onyx and eventually go for the knockouts and eliminate every single members from EVOS and, you know, go for the goals. But right now, Resort is doing a lot of pressure from their team.
That's it. I think that's it. The mere fact that they weren't able to get in the Regieleki up top earlier, just in time, that kind of like sealed the deal for Alter Ego. Quite unfortunately, because, you know, they were up top instead of going into that other central area. Positioning themselves into the Rayquaza, I think they got a little bit too complacent in that matter, where EVOS Onyx was able to utilize it fully, but now 30 seconds left. Would they be able to score in? Let's find out together, because the battle is still not over. Block into that of the, you know, X speed into the powering up. Gonna be able to take down the Umbreon in the process, and just like that, 380. They don't have enough points anymore. They don't have any more points to put down to get into the scores. Quite unfortunate for Alter Ego. They might have the control of the game, but Rayquaza falls into the hands of EVOS Onyx.
Oh yeah, for sure. And not just that, we were talking about a while ago the Regieleki prioritization of Alter Ego during the last around 10 seconds before the Rayquaza or the final stretch is going to happen, and it actually made a huge impact into the game because they were actually estimating that they could actually take the Regieleki in under 10 seconds, in which that wasn't the case. That happened at the side of Alter Ego, and EVOS Onyx does know that it is more on high risk, high reward, so they just prioritize, they just march with them.
This is what we missed earlier, you know, but everything's fixed now, everything's all done, so yeah, they're gonna have a fun time, I think.
Yeah. I think, yeah. And here's the thing, right? Alter Ego would have to play match number 5 later on, right after this, because they're going to be going against Paper Rex. And that's actually a tough one, knowing that, you know, fatigue factor is also one that you have to consider when playing. So definitely, they have to play as much as 4 straight games if they would go to the max, or three straight games. But I do feel like they have it in Cerebral later on, so they have, you know, ample time to stretch their fingers, stretch their bodies in order to release the stress that they have right now. But moving forward to the draft, so Zire would actually secure that Miraidon for their team. Quite, you know, very phenomenal for the team. They want the back lane damage, actually, or they could just charge it with the Electro Drift, just like what we witnessed a while.
Yeah, for sure. But Um, I'm not. Uh, this is also good, right? Like we have the Leafeon and the Blissey immediately. Zire with that of as you have mentioned, the Miraido with the Electro Drift, perhaps. And that's what we saw as well, right? On the last match, match number 4, game number 2, which was utilized very, very greatly. So, with this being said, we can only say, we can only guarantee the Electro Drift if we are going to be seeing Hyperspace Hole, right? Sorry, a Hoopa, rather. Hyperspace.
That's a new Pokemon for you.
Sorry, my bad. If we see a Hoopa going into Alter Ego, but otherwise, I think it's going to be a backlane attacker with the Thunder and, of course, Charge Beam. So it seems as if they're going to be gunning in for an Eldegoss instead. Psyduck, definitely a respect band coming in from that of EVOS Onyx.
Oh, yeah, and what I love here is that the comeback of Serena is really present. The side of EVOS Onyx, it's actually a good option. You know, being able to, go for the Queen's Ascendant later on for the 1v1s. And what I love is the addition of the Snorlax as well for their team. It could actually go for a block as far as I can see, in order for them to prevent that Blaziken coming in together with that Darkrai. So same thing with the Electro Drift, actually, that has a potential to block away them. So this is actually a good pick-up, knowing that they could actually go for the counter immediately.
Yeah, and I mean, at the same time, right, like, I do feel for EVOS Onyx here that they are quite confident and that they were quite confident into picking up this Dodrio, knowing the fact that there's no Umbreon into the side of Alter Ego. So meaning that, EVOS Onyx here with Kane would freely be able to roam around the map with the Dodrio without any problem of, getting stunned or getting isolated in a single space with, with Mean Look. So really amazing pick here coming from EVOS Onyx. So I'm really excited here to see how they're going to be faring up against that of Alter Ego. Again, this is game number 3, Alter Ego versus EVOS Onyx.
Man, very exciting matchup. This is going to be their last game, at least for this series, but we'll get to see more action of Alter Ego later on during their match number 5 up against Paper Rex. So definitely, they have been putting a lot of show so far. They have been showing their prowess, their aggressive gameplays, and EVOS Onyx managed to counter that one out a while ago. So definitely, they had a little bit of a rest despite resolving the issue a while ago. So hopefully that will be a setback for their team in order to compete competitively, or much more competitively, heading towards this game.
Dude, I just have to correct one thing that you mentioned. We're gonna be seeing EVOS Onyx again later. So remember the 8th game? Yeah. The last game of the day.
I totally missed that one. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. It's cool. I mean, we just want to see more Pokemon Unite action, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, that is why we're here, right? We want to see more action in Pokemon Unite.
Exactly.
It has been a phenomenal game that I have been playing since release.
I mean, honestly, I would understand as well, because, they have been playing for quite a while now, so...
I mean, all of us, right? All of us. We cannot deny that.
Yeah, so, going back into the game, though, Alter Ego seems to have a bit of a problem here. EVOS Onyx is the one that's leading and being the one that gives up a bit of a, pressure towards that of Alter Ego. Genki is pressuring up EVOS Onyx by utilizing Gluttony, right? The passive ability allowing Snorlax to run faster with a berry close in the vicinity. Look at this, though. Still does not have block, but does have access to what do you call it? Oh, actually, still don't have any access to heavy slam yet.
Oh, I love that. I love how he prevented Ice from scoring goal. That's actually phenomenal for the team. That Electro Drift, not gonna be quite enough to, secure a knockout. At least dish out some damage before you go down.
Right.
That's actually very smart.
Wait, sorry, I have to correct myself as well. Why was I saying that there was no Umbreon, no Mean Look? Sorry, there's a there's an Umbreon for the set of Alter Ego and EVOS Onyx. There's gonna be a problem. Sorry, there's gonna be a problem for that of the Dodrio, is what I meant to say earlier. But Jinkies, though, now invading the central. Okay, it's not a heavy slam block Snorlax, but instead it is a central area Snorlax where it's utilizing what do you call this?
Flail and Yawn.
Flail and Yawn. Yes, it's an attacking Snorlax.
Oh wow, that's gonna be huge of an impact actually, because when you go for the flail, specifically, you would want to dish out a lot of damage by being aggressive, and it's a front line, and at the same time, it's aggressive. So they EVOS Onyx so far, they don't have a problem in terms of pushing back their enemies away. It's actually a block, but in an aggressive form.
Right, and at the same time, right, like flail actually has a quelling effect as well. So everyone in the vicinity that's close to the fists of Snorlax, look at that, like a bit of like a smoke that comes out of its fist. It would actually go up and hit everyone else as well. So, so it's not going to have Yawn, but instead goes in for the block. I think they might have made a misclick for the flail, and might actually be going in for heavy slam, because it doesn't make any sense for you to go in for flail and then block. Perhaps Yawn, sure, but not flail block. No, I don't think.
We're going to be seeing the worst of wonders later on, but that is another knockout. Company side of Alter Ego taking down that Serena in the process. Same thing with the Doge Rio, actually. And this is actually a good goal zone coming in, but the Queen Ascendant will land here at the hands of EVOS Onyx, but Alter Ego still charging in all the way into the goal zone of EVOS Onyx.
Yeah, Alter Ego, though, still not going to be stopping there, as they were able to destroy the first score goal, and now goes up. But 94 needs to survive this, needs to wait for the teammates. Are they going to be able to do that, though? Yes, they will. Buy some time now, ready to put in some clash. Once again, up top, there goes the Dark Pulse coming from the Dark Cry. Going to be able to take down one. No, make that two. Coming from the Mirai to destroy the first score goal as well. And now secure the Regieleki for themselves.
Yeah, for sure. This is actually a guaranteed coming in from them. 5 members making sure that they be able to charge this one in all the way to the goal zone. But as you can see, 3 members at the side of EVOS Onyx will try to defend this for themselves.
Yeah, I mean, the Drio and Leafeon not being in on this team fight is definitely going to put them up in such a disadvantage. But now the Drio and Leafeon is now coming up back as well. Try to, reinforce them, try to follow up into that of Alter Ego, but the low HP is on the Blissey. Blissey gonna be taken out by the Reggie. Like, unfortunately, there's gonna be 3 down. The Drio and the Serena is gonna be taken out as well. But here comes the push, coming in with the block. Jinky pushing down the Reggie Ilecki. Beautiful stuff here from the Snorlax. And I think maybe it's not a misclick. Maybe that is actually what they're aiming for. The flail and the block, quite uncharacteristic, but I guess if they make it work, then
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Like, if you make use of a flail and a block, it would be much more easier for you to block the path of your enemy, especially if you're in the process of using flail. So that's actually how you make use of it, especially in instances that you make mistake or misclicks.
But I mean, you can't use flail when using block, and at the same time, right? Like Snorlax does have X speed, so it's quite uncommon to do that. Is how I would say it. But anyway, speaking of which, though, gonna be able to take down Serena in the process as well. But Ice here tries to get in a little bit. Shingdi, gonna be seen here, but Shingdi, Dark Voice gonna be pop up into the block. Are they gonna be able to get away? Emerald 2-step, unfortunately not gonna hit because of the Dark Pulse. And here we have it, 2v4. Shingdi gonna be up left here with the mean look, but actually gonna be able to get away again with the Dark Pulse. Being able to buy enough time for their teammates to respond, gonna be able to take down the Snorlax as well. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the power of Alter Ego. Mirai's gonna be taken out, though, coming in from that of Serena, but the Serena's gonna be taken out as well. Look at this, though. Resort not gonna be able to survive another day. Leafeon's gonna be taken out. That's gonna be 2-for-1 trade here as they secure 94 secures Regieleki up top as well.
And yes, this is looking good, especially that Alter Ego managed to, get a couple of wild Pokemons all the way from the forest, in which they're taking away the resources of EVOS Onyx. That's why, as you can see, Doge Rio in the process is actually going in for the trades in order for them to give a difficult time or make things even. So right now, A lot of members from Alter Ego backing away a little bit here. They know that they don't have the lead yet, or they don't have a big discrepancy. So they have to play it out very safe, and potentially they want to take the Reggie objective all the way into the bottom path to be prepared even more later on in the Rayquaza fight.
But that just puts them in a forced option select, right? Just because of the fact that the Dodrio is there. So if they take in this Reggie bottom, that is a Reggie Rock, then they are just allowing the Dodrio to score in freely as well. So that is, that is the deficit here that Alter Ego is facing at the moment. In comparison to EVOS Onyx, where they can just really go in, go out whenever they want to. And speaking of which, the Rayquaza is going to be coming up in just a bit as they are preparing, to position themselves towards the central.
Yeah, for sure. They have to get the footing already. They have to get their positions intact because it will be difficult, especially that if you're a Snorlax, you don't have the mobility. It's just, and especially you don't have the heavy slam, by the way. So you would just brute force walk in with the flail, and maybe there could be a follow-up from the Bliss assistance, but they have to babysit that Leafeon as well.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's the option select here coming in from that of the Blissey. But look at this, though. Yes, into the Dark Pulse as well, into the Overheat, and block. Not going to be able to block those damages as Serena's going to be taken out as well. Kane tries to get away as well with the Meteor Storm. Unfortunately, not going to be able to hit anyone at all. And look at that, the Meteor Storm. Sorry, the Miraidon is going to be soloed here by that of EVOS Onyx. But look at this. We have the Snorlax once again trying to push them up. Powering up is going to be popped up as well. Overheat going to be eating them up. Here comes the knock. Coming from far up, but the 4v1 though, not gonna allow you to survive. Now Alter Ego does have the advantage into that Rayquaza, but we have to remember Leafeon is still here. Dark Pulse is gonna be popped up here, coming in from that Shangdi as well, but Leafeon still survives another day. Dodrio though low on HP, trying to find the perfect timing to get in onto that of the Rayquaza. Are they gonna be able to get it though? That is the big question. And here you have it, Alter Ego, Electric Beam is gonna be popped up as well. Cloud Crash. Not quite enough to put down Rayquaza, but look at this though. EVOS Onyx gonna be able to secure the Rayquaza. Dark Pulse, are they gonna be able to stop them from scoring in? Here comes the Dodrio with the divided into 3 points, putting them down 32. Again, 399 points for EVOS Onyx. Alter Ego at 172, no, making 272. Still not gonna be enough to answer back to EVOS Onyx.
Yeah, indeed. Very unfortunate after that scores that EVOS Onyx did. They managed to get back into their base immediately and, just go for the guard. They know that Alter Ego has a lot of points on their pocket, and a comeback is really possible if you don't defend your goal zone. And very smart decision from EVOS Onyx and sealing the deal after making multiple goals. Yet again, Alter Ego wasn't there to finish the job yet, and EVOS Onyx overtaking this series 2-1.
That was quite they weren't able to mark down the Dodrio for that matter, because they already had like the lead, they already have the advantage towards the Ray Pit. But unfortunately, the Dodrio was able to slip into their defenses and was able to secure the Rayquaza for themselves. Again, high risk, high reward kind of gameplay coming in from that of EVOS Onyx, but still it paid off to them quite amazingly. Honestly, Kane here with the Dodrio, definitely the MVP of the game here. Resort, yeah, played really well as well, but if it wasn't for Kane taking down the Rayquaza, I don't think they would be able to win.